Flosstube, it's Lindsay and welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches and welcome to a Flosstube extra video celebrating All the Kits April 2025. I had a wonderful idea from a viewer who said, could you film a video where you talk about your unicorn cross stitch kits? And I thought that is just so brilliant. Why didn't I think of that before? In case you're not aware what the term unicorn means, it means basically, in this case, cross-stitch kits that are hard to come by. So that might mean that they're out of print, so they're not readily available from your normal sort of like cross-stitch outlets. Or it might mean that they are on the second-hand market, like on eBay, for example, and they're, well, actually, so because they're not readily available there, they're out of print, therefore you might find them on the second-hand market. When you do find them on the second-hand market, they tend to go for a much higher price than what they were when they were originally sold. Or you might not be able to find them at all. Or it might be that it's a unicorn kit because it's a kit that's quite expensive in the first place. There are kits out there that are particularly big kits. They have a lot of thread, perhaps they have some specialty things that go with them like beads or whatever, and therefore it's a unicorn kit for that reason for you, that you can't just readily go and buy it out of monthly wages or whatever it might be. So I'm going to talk to you today about 10 kits that are on my list that are my unicorn kits. So let's make a start. So I'm going to be putting pictures up here of what the kit looks like, whether that means like the entirety of the front of the kit or just kind of like the mock-up. I'll see what I can find. The first one is called Dana's Roses and it's by Bucilla. It's their heirloom collection. I don't own a Bucilla cross stitch kit, but this one is particularly striking for me. I think I first learnt about it on Alisa's channel from eCrafting in Colorado. She managed to get a hold of this kit and I'd never heard of it before, never really sort of investigated Bucilla kits before, but absolutely loved it. And if you know anything about me and my preference in patterns and kits and things like that, you'll know that I do like stuff that is floral. And what I particularly like about this kit is that you've got the two centre, well, they are roses, they're called Dana's Roses. The two centre roses that are pink, they're sort of front and centre, but then it's got this lovely bluey, lilac-y black background to it. It looks slightly watercolour-esque, which again is something that I really, really like. I just think the whole colour palette is lovely. I've seen this come up once on eBay and it went for far more than I was happy to pay for it at that particular point. But yeah, that's the only time I've seen it come up in the last couple of years in the UK anyway. I do look for kits that are from the US too, but I think this came up just in the UK. I think so anyway. So that's number one. Number two is a kit called Fairytale Town, and it's by a cross-stitch kit company called Abris Art, and you can readily find some Abris art kits around. There are some companies, certainly in the UK, that do sell them. But this particular kit I don't seem to be able to find in the UK, so it's one that I'd have to order from abroad. And there's a lady stitching it who I follow. Oh, what's the name of her channel? Let me just have a little look. Okay, so I believe her name is Rachel and her channel is Artful Stitchery. She had a period of time where she wasn't posting and now she's posting monthly videos again, which is great, and she stitches a wide range of things, but one of her focus pieces at the moment is this Fairytale Town kit, and I think I'd heard of this kit before. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I had, but when she's like, the fact that she's been posting again over the last few months and she's got quite far in the kit, I want to say that she's about halfway through it, maybe a little bit less, I don't know, it looks like to me like that. And it is stunning. So it's a really sort of long skinny piece, but it is quite a big piece. And the only places that I can find this are to buy it from abroad. So there are a couple of eBay sellers that look like they're selling it from abroad. I think I might be able to buy it from a couple of cross-stitch kits abroad, but it is a kit that is like it's got a heftier price tag to it. So it is one that I have yet to invest in, just because I haven't had the means in order to get it. But every time I see Rachel stitching it, I think, oh, has got to be at the top of my kit wish list, because it is just stunning. Number 3 on my list is a kit called Suncatchers, and it's by Elsa Williams. And Elsa Williams is not a kit maker that I'd heard of before. And then Debbie at Mama Bear Stitchery, she did a kit parade. Was it last year or the year before now? I think it was last year, like the earlier on in the year perhaps. And she had this kit. And it's of these little adorable turtles. I think there are like 2 or 3 turtles in the shot, and then they're surrounded by, I think they're on some branches and there's some flowers and they're surrounded by water, and it just looks so adorable. And I'd never heard of Elsa Williams before, and actually Brenda from Handwork Maniac is stitching an Elsa Williams kit at the moment. It's like it's of a fisherman, I think, and like a lake scene. And it's really beautiful. But I really liked the turtles. I just think they're so lovely. And again, it's a kit that I've seen on eBay a few times, but it tends to be from sellers that are abroad. I've seen it a couple of times from people that are in sort of like Spain or France, I want to say. It's come up in euros. I think it was France I saw it come up for sale. But yeah, it's one that definitely is on my top 10, and yeah, I do want to get it sooner rather than later. The next kit on my list is called Past, Present, Forever, and it's by The Art of Disney. And this, I first came across this when I watched the girls from Cross Stitch the Globe. They did a video last year where they talked about the most expensive kits that had been on eBay, I want to say, in the US, definitely in 2023. They sort of did a roundup of it, and they didn't talk about this kit. They talked about a kit called The Happiest Celebration on Earth, which I do actually also have on my unicorn list somewhere. But that got me looking at other kits by this company, and I saw this one, and what I really like about it is you've got Mickey and Walt walking down the path towards the castle, and you've got the castle in the background, and then you've got all this lovely greenery, and all of the sort of like the blue skies, and the sky is sort of like a bluey purpley colour, and it is just gorgeous. And so yeah, I thought that is, if I could get hold of that one day, because we are such big Disney fans in here, I feel like that is going to be one that will be like an heirloom piece that we will enjoy as a family when I stitch it. Yeah, it's just lovely. Number 5 on my list is a kit called Paris by Country Threads, and I believe that Country Threads are an Australian cross-stitch kit maker. And that's why this kit for me is quite hard to get hold of. So Country Threads do lots of different kinds of kits, but they do a series of kits that have the name of a city and then places from that city sort of like placed into the letters. So you can see with this Paris one, you've got the French flag, you've got the Eiffel Tower, you've got what looks like the Arc de Triomphe, a little bit of the Seine, and sort of like, so you've got like scenes from Paris, and they do a series of these. So for example, there's one for Rome, for Sydney, I believe there's one for London and New York. They're the other 4 that I can think of that they have in the series, but the only place that I'd be able to get it from is Australia. And I feel like when I looked at this a while ago as well, because I think, who had it? Was it Judy from An Aussie in a Kiwi World had one of these kits? I think she showed it in a whip parade when she first started her channel, and I was investigating where to get it, and I don't think I could get it so that I could ship it over to the UK. I think it was one of those scenarios, like I found it in a couple of Australian shops or websites, but they wouldn't ship to the UK. And so, yeah, I've never seen it come up anywhere else. But yeah, that's one that I'd love to get hold of one day. The rest of these kits are going to be Dimensions, because again, if you know anything about me, you know that I love a Dimensions kit, and I have got quite an extensive, would I say an extensive collection? I've got quite a collection anyway of Dimensions kits. I've started a fair few, but I also have quite a few in my stash. But one of the ones, and number 6 on this list, that I would love to get a hold of is Enchanting Geisha by Dimensions. And again, if you know anything about me, you know that I love anything Oriental. I've got the other geisha kit. Well, they do a few different geisha kits, but I bought another one off of my unicorn list last year. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put a picture up of it here. Yeah, I bought that one last year, and then this one has come up a few times on eBay, but it's come up at prices that I just can't justify getting. So I haven't yet got my hands on it, but what I love about her is that she is the colour palette that they've used. So you've got her in the middle, you've got this lovely fan that she's holding, it's got a nice frame around it, and there's lots of floral sort of elements to it. And I just think she's so gorgeous. So yeah, that is definitely one that has to go on my top 10 list. Number 7 on the list is actually a stocking from Dimensions, and it's called Holiday Saint Nick. And this is one that I believe I first saw on, was it Christine's channel from Calico Whimsy? She did, last year, she did a kit and whip parade from Dimensions, and there were a load of ones on there that I ended up putting on my wish list. And I think she had this stocking kit. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's where I first saw it. And I do already have one Dimension stocking in my stash. I have the God, I don't remember the name of it. You can get it as a normal kit as well. It's one with Santa Claus on it and he's looking through a window. Is it the candy cane stocking? I think it is anyway. So I have that, and I have a few others that I'd like to get. But this particular one I love because you've got the 2 children in the window surrounded by Christmas decorations, and there are toys, and they're standing on their bed looking out this window, and you've got Father Christmas and his sleigh going across. And everything about it is just so lovely. I absolutely love it. I mean, how lovely would this be to stitch up as one of your heirloom stockings? I just think it's utterly delightful. I've seen it from a few American sellers, but it is very, very expensive. And again, I just can't justify paying that sort of money at the moment for a kit. But I would love to get my hands on that someday. This next one, number 8, is actually a Gold Collection Petite kit, and it's called Ugly Duckling. And I first saw this on Amy's channel from Amy Loves Toads. She stitched this, and I just think this is a hilarious kit. So you've got the 3 little chicks who look so lovely, and then, or they little duckling, no, they're little ducklings, that's why the kit is called Ugly Duckling. Anyway, so you've got the 3 adorable little ducklings, and then you've got the frog next to them, and I just think it's utterly hilarious, like the way that a couple of them are looking at him and the way that he's posed, and just the whole thing is just so adorable. And I haven't managed to find it in the UK yet, but that is definitely one that I'd like to stitch someday. The last 2 I have are Wreath kits. I like Dimensions do quite a few different Wreath kits, and I have, I think, 3 at the moment. So I have the seasonal one. I have the, it's not the hummingbird one. I can't remember. Was it a hummingbird one? And then I have the roses one, the Wreath of Roses that my husband bought me for Christmas. I think those are the 3 that I've got. But there are quite a few more that I would like to get. So this next one is again the Thought of Laura from I Stitch Birds. This is Forest Birds Wreath. This is an older Dimensions kit. I mean, it's just me. Right, I love birds, just like she does. So you've got all of these different kind of birds round the outside, and then there's a saying in the middle, and I can't remember what the saying says, but hopefully the picture is clear enough that you can see that. But I just think it's utterly adorable, and it's quite a colourful kit. I feel like there's a lot of autumn colours in there as well as a lot of greenery, and I really like that about it. So yeah, I've never seen this come up. Never seen it come up. So I don't know if I'll ever get my hands on that, but I would love to. Okay, and number 10 on the list is a kit called Berry Wreath Welcome by Dimensions. Again, it's another wreath kit, and again, it's got birds, it's got pretty flowers, and it's got that lovely little welcome bit in there as well, which I really like. Again, I think the colour palette is stunning. I just think Dimensions knock it out of the park with their wreath designs. Yeah, I mean, they to my knowledge, they've not brought another one out in quite some time, and I don't know what the most recent one was, but all the ones that I see, I'm like, yeah, I want that one. So this is no exception. And this has got lots of blues and greens in it, and a little bit of sort of like burgundy colours. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So yeah, that is number 10 on the list. So there you go, guys. They were the 10 unicorn cross stitch kits that I've currently got on my list. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below what your unicorn cross stitch kits are. Let's enable each other, because of course I'm going to go and look up what these are and probably end up adding a ton more to my list too. So yeah, leave those in the comments down below, and maybe also leave me a comment about what's a unicorn kit that you've found, that you've managed to get your hands on, and that you're really happy that you've got. I'd love to hear that too. So that's it for today. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye.